16 seasons, our colleague John Quiñones has hosted What Would You Do?, the hidden camera show that reveals how everyday people behave when placed in unusual and uncomfortable situations. The results are frequently surprising and occasionally shocking, but always fascinating. Please welcome John Quiñones.
Very good. I love the way you say Quiñones. Very well.
It's a little Italian.
Quiñones. Quiñones is different from...
Right? Joy.
Not mutually exclusive.
Okay, so What Would You Do?, which you're involved in also, right?
She sure is.
It's continuing its historic 17th season. It's the biggest season yet. It has more scenarios and more locations than ever before. After all of these seasons, is there anything that still surprises you?
I am still surprised by the people who step up to the plate. You know, we're talking about how divided times we live in. And yet people still want to do the right thing. I think they really, really want to. They're genuinely good, but sometimes people are afraid. And who can blame them in this current climate that we live in right now?
Well, and Sara Haines, you are back for the second season, this time full-time correspondent. Congratulations, you're in every episode. And in this role, you've traveled all over the country and gotten to see different reactions. What has it taught you, just interacting and seeing these different experiences?
I would say, kind of echoing what John said, that there are really good people out there, and it restores my faith in humanity, because when you see someone not respond, you almost kind of expect that knee-jerk, that nobody's gonna do anything, and then the angels among us come in every shape, form, age, and it's why I've been a fan for so many years, to watch John, and to get to meet these people is just...
Is that your favorite show?
I love that show.
Is that your favorite?
Oh, don't choose favorite. That is my favorite non-panel show. Good one. Don't tell the chase.
She's like her children. She loves them all the same.
There's three shows right now.
But I mean, that one has John Quiñones. Come on, guys.
Well, John, you brought us some clips from this season. The first one you call Fetish Dating. I loved this episode. We're going to need to know a little bit more. Take a look at the clip.
I'm really glad I matched with you. I was hoping I would with someone like you.
Like me?
Yeah.
What you mean?
You know, like a black guy.
Good.
You look so athletic. Our babies would be athletic. They would probably be D1 babies, you know, like go to D1 college.
D1 babies? How do you know I'm athletic?
Aren't all black people athletic?
So you trying to have a baby athlete?
Yes!
I mean, when you see this episode, audience, you've got to see the woman with the lighter red hair. I mean, she is invested in it. You can see the diners. They're just in disbelief at what the woman was saying. Did anyone speak up?
You'll have to watch the show. But no, they do. They do. You know who does speak up? People of color, people who have been there, people who know what it's like, and the pain that comes from this kind of stetereotyping. They speak up first.
Even if it's a positive stereotype, people don't like it.
Exactly.
Well, in this season, for the first time ever, you're asking kids, what would they do? We have a sneak peek.
She's the bully I'm talking about.
She's a loser, don't worry about her. She wears these big, nerdy glasses.
So stop bothering me.
What, are you gonna cry now?
Oh, boy.
How would you like if you were in her shoes?
I'm not in her shoes.
Well, then put yourself in them.
She's a tough girl.
Buzz off.
I thought the What Would Kids Do was the best part of that
They're so
show.
innocent and pure.
John, were you surprised that little girl did that? I mean,
No, I think she was raised right. You know, what is that line from the musical South Pacific? You've got to be carefully taught before it's too late, before you're 6 or 7 or 8, to hate all the people your relatives hate. You've got to be carefully taught. But of course, you can be taught the opposite, right? To be more loving and more compassionate.
But sometimes kids are afraid to intercept because they will then become the object of the bullying.
Oh, not these kids. There was one kid that was like, you know what, I'll be right back. I'm going to speak to her. And followed. And followed.
And he said, I used to be a bully. And that's how
well,
I
and there
know.
are different ways to help. One thing I've learned with this show is we live in a time where maybe intervening isn't always the right thing or safe, depending on what the situation is.
Yeah.
But there are ways that other people we've watched flag people down. They go to the helpers. They find ways to help out that aren't, direct.
But, John, you talk about people who hate. You talk about the experiences of people of color. Every time I see you, I just want to thank you because you were on TV experiencing the hate.
It's a good show.
Experiencing the stereotypes. But he's been on TV. Yeah. He was on TV as a Latino when there were no Latinos on TV.
Yeah,
he is a pioneer, and he stayed and he's remained. And I know what you've had to go through. But let's talk about the show. So I'm somebody who's on a plane multiple times a week. Yeah. So the scenario is very familiar to me. Set it up for us.
A baby has been crying on the plane throughout the flight. And when they get to baggage claim, mom and the baby, a man approaches her and says, "You are a terrible mother. Your kid wouldn't let me sleep."
How can you sleep with a crying baby on the plane?
I really tried, sir. I'm so sorry.
It's horrible. You should be a better mother.
Are you serious?
I've never heard a baby cry that loud in my life.
Sir, I was trying to get her to calm down. Believe me, I'm so sorry.
Nothing so far, huh?
You should be ashamed of yourself.
You should be a baby. Really? You should cry.
You should cry. Did anything surprise you?
The fact is that, I've been on a lot of planes too.
Yeah.
And people complain when the baby's crying. Yeah. People slap on their headphones and start muttering something and make ugly faces.
Yeah.
But I think in this case, when you come face to face with someone really ridiculing and insulting a mom, that anger melts away, and I think your heart then goes out to it. But only when you come face to face with it, when you realize the damage that you can do by criticizing.
She should have just handed the baby to him and say, "Here, see how you like it."
Well, I love it was the women who spoke up too. They're like they've been there.
Yeah, she should have handed him a dirty diaper.
Yeah, even better.
I never understand people on the airplanes that are so upset about a kid crying. I mean, mothers have a really hard job, and it's sometimes very, very difficult to get your kid not to cry. Their ears are hurting, they may be hungry, all sorts of things are happening. It really disgusts me. And it also disgusts me that people just don't rush up to the mother and say, "Can I take a shift?
Yeah.
Can I take a shift?" It's not that hard
I'm
to
asked
do.
by flight attendants all the time, "Put your hidden cameras on this plane."
Yeah,
It'd be great, because they
just
see
take
so
a
much.
shift. But let me ask you this, John. You said that growing up, you felt like some of the people on your show.
I grew up in the barrio, on the west side of San Antonio. I didn't speak English when I went to the first grade. I was the first one in my family to go to college. And my teachers would all say to me, judging me by my accent and the fact that no one had gone to college, that I wasn't college material. When we picked tomatoes in Ohio and cherries in Michigan, on our days off, people would follow us around the stores thinking we're going to steal something because of the way we were dressed and the accent in our voice. So I draw, yes, upon a lot of my own life, and I bring it to the show.
I have a friend, Chris, you know him, who says, "We picked lemons so our kids can wear Lululemon."
I love that.
It's so great to see you always, John,
Joy.
and to have our darling girl on your show.
She's the fabulous.
Thank you. What Would You Do airs Wednesdays at 10 p.m. Eastern right here on ABC, with episodes available the next day on Hulu.